You ever have conversations with girls that lead to nowhere, and even if you do manage to have a good conversation, you just can't seem to make it sexual? Well, today, we gon' fix that. What up, homie? My name's Dave, and I put up new videos every Tuesday and every Friday to help you get the girls you want and become the man you're meant to be. And today, I got a little surprise for you. So I'm here with the homie Lloyd from The Single Guy.
What's going on, you guys?
Yeah, he's been gallivanting around Latin America for the past couple months. You been having fun, bro?
I have been having fun.
All right, what's been your favorite city?
Probably Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. I used to live there for 2 months. It actually is a fire beach town. I highly recommend it. But anyway, man, a lot of guys have been complaining to me lately about having platonic conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that complaint a lot from a lot of my students, clients. They say, hey, Lloyd, I walk up to a girl, I think it's pretty, but I want that spark to happen. I want, there to be some, things going on between us rather than just this normal, boring conversation.
Yeah. They don't want it to go to a dead end anymore, right?
Or the friend zone.
Or the friend zone. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So we're going to give you 5 simple ways to make a conversation sexual with a girl. So instead of being in the friend zone, you get to the end zone and you have a good time. Let's get into it.
I feel so alive. I've never felt this way before. It must be you and I. It's got me thinking about us.
So man, what I've seen, there are 2 big parts to having a sexy vibe around women, right? The first part is just believing you're the type of dude who deserves hot women. But hey, that can be kind of tough if you're just some jamoke dude hanging in your mama's basement, not doing anything.
Absolutely.
So what you want to make sure you're doing is working on yourself, trying to improve your life, your finances, your career, and those types of things to feel like, hey, you've got some stuff going on and you want to invite a girl in there and you're feeling good about yourself, right? And the second part to that is feeling like women love sex, right?
Absolutely, man. One of the things I tell my students all the time is to assume the attraction. But if you guys don't believe that women like sex, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to do that. So what I recommend for you guys is like what Dave was saying. Get more positive references, get more positive experiences with women, go out there. Now, if you're just starting out, like a lot of my students are, and when I was struggling with women, it was difficult to get these positive references. So what I did was I focused on the small wins. Let's say you go out, you talk to a bunch of girls, maybe they don't give you they don't give you their phone number, but you keep talking and one girl smiles at you, she gives you like a little seductive smile, focus on that. You're like, yeah, man, that chick wanted me. Like, that's how you develop confidence.
Yeah, so even if you're not taking a girl home, you can leave with some small wins and feel good about yourself.
Exactly.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.
Oh man, there's a lot more that goes into a conversation than just the words you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
It's your nonverbal. So these are things like, for one, talking slow. Now, a lot of guys will speed through conversations, talk super fast, and they'll be looking like this. But yeah, I came to Mexico because I really like girls who wear polka dot heart shirts and really like the tacos there. It's all super amazing.
Sorry, what was that?
The problem with this is it's going to make you seem insecure and the girl's going to end up being confused rather than turned on, right? So instead you want to slow the conversation down to the point where it even feels like it's too slow. That's going to help you figure out where the line is and get you used to talking at the right speed. Now, aside from that, the second part is to make really strong eye contact, which is a key part of attraction.
Absolutely. Eye contact is a huge thing. So studies have shown that around 72% eye contact is the magic number. So you want to be looking at them for 72% of the time and then kind of give them a little bit of a break for the next 28%. Like look around, compose your thoughts, do what you got to do. But when you do make eye contact with them, you want to make them feel like they're the only girl in the world. And the way that you do that is to be present to the moment. You're looking at them, nothing else. You're not distracted by the other things that are going on, just them.
Be present in the moment, right?
Exactly.
For sure. And then the last part of really nailing your nonverbals is getting that smile down. Having that sexy smile makes such a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I used to suck with my smile. I remember I was taking pictures with girls and like they would try and edit me out.
Oh,
they would
man.
They would be like, I don't know this guy or whatever. So I actually had to practice my smile a lot. And I came up with this really cool smile that is not just like super happy, because if you're like too happy, that's not always the thing that's going to turn on the women the most. You want to get somewhere that's kind of in the middle where you're relaxed, but you have some sort of like edge to yourself. So the way that you do that is you smile normally like you normally would, but then you take out the mouth and you just smile with your eyes. So when you're looking at the girl, your eyes are a little bit wider, and that gives a little bit of mystery, that gives a little bit of intrigue, and that sort of thing drives girls crazy.
Boom. So smiling with your eyes, not just your teeth. That's gonna get her turned on. It's gonna get her feeling good. It's gonna make things sexy.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side.
So Lloyd's actually only spent a few months here collectively.
About a month and a half, 2 months.
About a month and a half collectively in Mexico City. And a lot of people say Mexico City is an unhealthy place. Like, there's a lot of pollution, a lot of unhealthy tacos, but there actually are some really healthy restaurants here. So I'm gonna show them one of my favorite ones right now. All right, bro, so here we are. My go-to here is the chocolate protein shake.
Chocolate protein shake.
Shit is fire. Me gustaría el after workout, mediano. So we've been waiting here for around like 10 minutes.
Something like that.
Something like 10 minutes for a shake. Now listen, this is a healthier place, but we still in Mexico. So you're still gonna have to wait for shit. When they pick up our Latin American time over here, bro.
Now looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run. This is what we waited for.
All right, man, time for the taste test. You ready? Cheers.
Ready.
You know what, man? This would be like an 8 out of 10, but because those motherfuckers made us wait like 15 minutes for a shake, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
It goes down a few.
It goes down.
I'd have to agree with that statement. This is pretty good, but it would have been a lot better if we hadn't waited.
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 all around. Let's do it.
4 out of 10.
But man, a big part of leading conversations to sex is using the topics that are gonna help you pave the way to that sex. And my favorite topic for that is adventurousness. Think about it, man. When a girl's feeling adventurous around you, what is she more likely to do with you later on that night? Some adventurous shit, right?
Have an adventure.
Yeah, and I've actually used that to bring girls home. Like, it'll be time for me to take her home. I'll be like, hey, let's get out of here and go adventure. And because we talked about adventures earlier in the night, she is a lot more down to do it, and it usually works pretty well. Have you ever tried that before?
Yeah, I've used it before many times,
Boom,
actually.
boom, the shit works. Now, in terms of how to actually bring that topic up, one thing you can do is ask her, like, what's the biggest adventure you've gone on? Or what's a big adventure you want to go on? And get her talking about that, get her feeling those adventurous feelings, and that's going to be good for you.
Yeah, maybe share an adventure that you have as well.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. You want to make sure that you have an adventure yourself that you can share back, because you know she's going to ask you about it. So you can't come up empty-handed with that. So think about that beforehand.
All right, so and the other thing too, guys, is we want to use, when you're talking about these conversation topics, a lot of guys think that if you talk explicitly about sex, it's going to make them want to have sex. Not really. You see, when women like to talk about sex, they like it indirectly, meaning they like innuendos a lot more than they like talking about sex explicitly. For example, if you were going to tell a story about sex, it probably wouldn't be as effective, it probably wouldn't even turn her on at all, as you told a story about one time in college when you and some people went skinny dipping. You know, that isn't necessarily a sex story, but it's sexual in its nature, so it leaves a lot up to the imagination. Also, too, if you were going to talk to like maybe a girl who you felt like was like a little goody two-shoes or something like that, you might say something to her like, "Oh, you seem like you're a really good girl, but not all the time." You see, it leaves a lot up to the imagination here, and when women have their imaginations run, they run wild.
Yeah, the big key to that though is the subtlety, right? Like, it's
Exactly.
always, like the subtlety. It's better to have the sexual connotations than just be like, hey, let's fuck.
Exactly. That's the fastest way to turn a girl off if you do that sort of stuff. So if you look at the way erotic novels are written, a lot of it's written like that. That's why women like erotic novels much more than they like porn.
For sure.
It was written in the stars. We can't be torn apart. We are linked together, fortune fire.
Man, so a big mistake a lot of guys make is they think they just need to keep flirting and flirting and flirting. And hey, flirting is great. Like, it helps build some attraction, it helps get her into you. But if all you do is flirt, then there's not really any substance to you. And when she's thinking about you the next day or later in that night, she's not going to want to go home with you because she doesn't trust you yet. And she's not even going to want to text you back the next day because all you are is that fun guy.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, if you're doing all that stuff right, Attraction is not enough. You need to get the girl to feel comfortable with you. If she's not comfortable with you, she's probably not going to sleep with you. So ask her about herself, find out what her passions are, share something between the two of you, build a little bit of comfort, build some trust with her, and that way you're going to be that guy that she actually does think is not just that fun guy, but is actually someone that she might sleep with.
Yeah, and the big thing too is just actually taking a genuine interest in the things she tells you, and not just like nodding along, like, oh yeah, you're passionate about that, like, cool. When are we gonna fuck?
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, sex for a woman, you guys, is a pretty vulnerable, probably the most vulnerable position she's ever gonna put herself in, man. I mean, you're bigger than her. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So comfort is super, super important.
So build that shit up. She's gonna be more likely to go home with you, and she's gonna hit you back up the next day. And that's what it's all about.
We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end.
Alright, man, so in order to leave a girl wanting more, you gotta give her something to want in the first place, right? And that comes with getting physical with her from the very start. So whether it be touching her shoulder, touching her elbow, or even just getting closer in terms of your proximity, you want to give her a little bit of that physical touch. Give her something to want, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the big key with that, though, is you don't want to draw attention to the physical touch. I've actually seen a lot of guys, like, they'll go out to touch a girl, and they'll look at their hand as they're going to touch her. They'll just keep looking at it. She'll be looking at it. They'll be looking at it. Put it on the shoulder.
What are you doing?
And it's just super fucking awkward.
Guaranteed way to creep a girl out.
Now, there is one golden opportunity you're going to have when you touch a girl, and that is to see how she reacts to it, right? Does she stiffen up? Is she open to it? Is she touching you back? Because all those are going to be signs to tell you, okay, can you escalate this a little bit more, or should you pull back a little bit?
Absolutely, man. And yeah, so one of the things I tell my students is to maybe go in for high fives or hugs, see how she reacts. If she hugs you back, that's really great. If she does one of these, she's not even touching you, little T-Rex arms, okay, not very good. Now, another important thing too is when you are touching her, you need to pull back a little bit. So a lot of times guys, when they first figure out that they can start touching girls, they go crazy. They start touching her way too much. They either freak the girl out, or basically they don't give her something to look forward to. People don't appreciate things until you let them lose it for a little bit. So when I touch a girl, when I do some of that, maybe even if I kiss her, I'm gonna pull back just a little bit before it gets too crazy, because that's gonna leave her wanting more, and that creates true desire.
Yeah, you don't want to be one of those dudes making out with a girl for like 15, 20 minutes at the club, because there's way too many of those dudes, right? Now, bro, all this is going to help you to lead your conversations to sex and also turn girls on. But before you can do any of that, you need to know how to start the conversation. And for that, I recommend checking out this video right here. It's an approach video me and Lloyd made. We go out, we start conversations, and we break it down for you. Then I also recommend checking out Lloyd's channel right here.
Absolutely, man. If you guys are looking for practical and actionable dating advice, I'm your guy.
There you go. We'll see you right there, homie. Peace out.